I think the poet or the filmmaker or the musician, the poet must not avert his eyes. You must not avert your eyes. This is what is coming at us.
Welcome to One Good Thing, the podcast that tries to find the one mushroom that will give it magical powers. It's gotta be one of them. It's gonna be one of them. I'm Paul Salt.
It's me, Mario.
Got Mario here.
I bloody did it, didn't I?
With his patented accent.
I can do it. I can do them all. Yeah, look. It's Luigi now.
That's his catchphrase.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've played Super Luigi World. But yeah, he just comes on and says,
Well, do you know, it's me, Luigi. Hello, any more of these, they're obviously in line for a class action lawsuit, so let's move past the copyright infringement and talk about the source of this episode's recommendation. It comes from longtime fan of the show, Jennifer Sohns. Did I pronounce that correctly? I'm really sorry if not. Let us know.
Let us know by sending us a comment saying, no, it's not pronounced Sohns, it's pronounced Sohns, and spell it exactly the same way.
That'll fucking learn us, idiots. Thanks so much, Jennifer, for continuing to support the show.
Yeah, thanks for everyone for doing that. It's great.
Yeah. Mostly Jennifer, though.
Mostly Jennifer. She's doing it better than you.
Yeah.
Other listeners, up your game. Listen harder. I also happen to know that today, this release date, is Jennifer's birthday. So, happy birthday, Jen.
Aw.
Yeah, our first birthday shout-out.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to Super Mario Brothers.
Lawsuit. Lawsuit.
Oh my god, it's Dennis Hopper.
You're welcome.
Today we should be doing a non-union job on Super Mario Bros. Full stop. The 1993 sci-fi fantasy adventure film that coincidentally shares a name with a long-running video game series.
Resident Evil.
Yeah. The film was eventually directed by Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jenkel, with script work by Jim Genuine and Tom S. Parker, Parker Bennett and Terry Runt, Dick Clement and Ian LaFrenne, Ed Solomon and Ryan Rao, the studio, and the cast sometimes. The film was infamously poorly received by fans and critics. Critics in particular reacted to Super Mario Bros. Like a red shell just before the finish line video game reference. # League of Legends cosplay.
By screaming and masturbating furiously in front of all your friends.
Yeah, like gamers do.
That's how I always came second in Mario Kart.
Didn't even get you to win.
Yeah, it wasn't about winning, though.
Stephen Garrett, at Time Out, said it will baffle kids, bore adolescents, and depress adults. Kind of the whole panoply of human emotions there, just throughout life. Andre Meadows, over at Black Nerd Comedy, said a baby hatches out of an egg? I apparently missed that entire part when I played a Mario game. The Mario game I played was very grounded in realism. Nothing ridiculous like that happened.
Not before eggs.
I played Grand Theft Mario.
Though, back in the day when Mario games were Mario games, you could pick up a prostitute. You put her down again if you wanted. and then you go do a big old wump on a big old talking brick.
It was very controversial for Super Mario Bros. 2 to replace all of the mushrooms with prostitutes. But it certainly made Mario bigger.
Paid off.
Some appeals for reason. Some appeals for reason from the public.
So I just got to wipe that off me now.
Get rid of the remnants of that joke. We've got to get back to discussing Super Mario Brothers. There were some appeals for reason from the public, though. Kshafon2, over at IMDb, said, why is everyone taking this so seriously? This is a cheesy movie for people who play video games. You know what they're like? Look, this is for people who play video games, okay? Just let them have it. They need something.
You just don't get video games.
Is the thing. And Flappy Bird doesn't count.
Grandpa.
That really hurt. Oh, it's hard being snarky.
Yeah. Or a nerd.
Gatekeeping is trickier than I thought.
When you've got the bronchial system, the circulatory system of a nerd.
You've got the bronchial system of a nerd. You just said bronchial system. Fuck off. You jock, apparently. I'm in medical school, you twat.
Typical jock insult, that.
Amazon user Bob Hoskins described this as the worst thing he ever did. Dennis Hopper said it was a nightmare. Co-director Rocky Morton called the shoot harrowing. And Shigeru Miyamoto was lovely about it, saying the problem was that they tried to stick too closely to the games. Oh, that was the problem.
Now,
Miyamoto-san. Well, we've just got the one three-man, Dan Castellaneta, doling out the bad performances.
Oh, good one. And we're looking forward to seeing Fiona Shaw into the halls of the Fiveman very, very soon. What? Keep it up.
She'll be dancing her way in like a fucking mad woman. So, Paul, you egg-sucking snake.
Hi.
What's something about Super Mario Brothers that made you want to open the door, get on the floor, everybody walk the dinosaur?
Do you know what? It looks a lot like Brazil, I think.
The country or the... Yeah.
The film as opposed to the nation state.
How about the mind state?
Chugging wires that look like they should be plugged into washing machines and tumble dryers and steam coming out of things. And
Bob Hoskins in it.
Bob Hoskins is in it.
Yeah. Playing a plumber. Doesn't he play a plumber in Brazil? Oh, that's weird. Maybe he got typecast after that.
Yes.
We need someone to play a plumber. The search is over. So, Paul, what happens in this amazing fucking Brazil-esque thing?
Well, it starts with a prologue of sorts, a narrated prologue. It's not like Lady in the Water. It's not cheap and a useless exposition dump because it's an Italian-American delivering it.
Oh, it's like your lads down the pub.
Yeah, it's like lads down the pub, except who knows where it was because I don't think it ever pans out. It's just a disembodied voice.
It's just Dan Castellaneta floating in space.
As he's wont to do. He's vying for dominance with Ray Winston.
Whoever gets the New Yorker accent absolutely correct wins. And having seen The Departed, it's not looking good.
I know who it ain't gonna be. I'm gonna forget your mother was so nice to me. I'm gonna cut your fucking nuts off.
Perfect.
So maybe I should vie with Dan, old Danny boy.
Maybe you should cripple Leonardo DiCaprio.
Hey, I'm walking here. See, it's pretty good. $20 for a coffee. That's pretty New Yorkish.
Yeah, that's it. Well, speaking of excellent New York accents,
there are dinosaurs all being New Yorkers. They're all walking here, and then a comet hits.
What if the dinosaurs weren't all destroyed? What if the impact of that meteorite created a parallel dimension where the dinosaurs continue to thrive and evolve into intelligent, vicious, aggressive beings? Just like us. And hey, what if they found a way back?
We're getting very, very close to Sound of Thunder at this stage, so I'd like to fast forward to 20 years ago in Brooklyn.
Only 20 years ago now.
Only 20 years ago in Brooklyn.
That's 20 million years
Cannot
less
remember
ago.
what happens.
You've got a woman running for a tunnel, and she leaves a baby in front of a convent, and then gets got by fucking Dennis Hopper in his Outlander cosplay uniform.
Yep. Which is what happens when you go running around the sewers at night.
He's always in there with his costumes.
Yeah, but having fed, he is sated for the next 20 years, which is when we pick up with the main characters of the film.
Yeah.
One, Mario.
Mario.
Is that meant to be? Mario, and Luigi.
Yeah.
Mario. And
his middle name's Luigi. Fuck, they never picked up on that.
Yeah, I know. It's so confusing. How are we supposed to keep up with you Italian Americans? They're in an apartment. They haven't got much money, but they seem pretty happy. John Leguizamo plays Luigi. Mario is played by one Bob Hoskins from Brazil. And
from Brazil and also East London. But you wouldn't know it on this one.
Oh no, Paul, Brazil can be a film and a country.
Oh. When I said I went to Brazil for my holidays last year, there's a chance I was crouched in Terry Gilliam's boiler again.
Not again.
Fuck.
Just like that time when you went to 12 Monkeys. For 3
Nobody
weeks.
questioned me on that. Speaking of monkeys, we got fucking Mario Brothers.
You know, I bet that sea turtles navigate thousands of miles on instinct.
Not in New York traffic, they don't.
Well, what are you complaining about? Come on, we're here, aren't we?
You're getting worse.
I'm getting worse.
How did we get into sea turtles?
Faster what I tell you, huh?
It's a miracle we made it
I
alive.
thought you didn't believe in miracles, Mr. Tough Guy, huh?
Driving around, trying to get to jobs.
Intercuts a bit with an archaeologist called Daisy, who is having a bit of problem with the local trouble.
Well, weirdly, they're both having problems with this guy called Scapelli. Who simultaneously is fucking up a dinosaur dig and is robbing the Mario Brothers of all of their plumbing jobs.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot on his plate.
He's getting a monopoly in digs and a monopoly in plumbing as well. It's pretty good.
He's fucking over 5 other protagonists as well, but they don't They have their own movies.
Different films. Johnny Bravo is one of them. He keeps running in shot and doing the monkey quickly and then running out when he's trying to impress a lady. He's a dirty gangster type. He eye fucks Daisy, played by Samantha Mathis. It's all very good.
Yes.
So you know very quickly where everybody stands.
Well, she goes off in order to use a payphone. Luigi helps her out and eye fucks her in a good way, like
yes,
a nice
in a
eye
nice
fuck.
way.
Yeah.
There are two goons. Bob Mortimer and Vic Reeves are following her.
Two goons. Oh yes. It's Vic and Bob.
Yep.
In their car, following after them. It's Iggy and Spike. I'll only mention them here because they're pretty integral to the fucking plot of this goddamn thing. So
you know when we try to we scrabble for different British comedians' names throughout the rest of the plot telling, we mean Iggy and Spike. Good. Yeah.
They've been kidnapping women, incidentally. There's been a whole bunch of missing women, and they're after this particular woman for reasons unknown. Bob Hoskins intervenes and asks out Daisy on John Leguizamo's, that's not his name's, behalf.
It will do. Yep. And she says, yes, that's not strange at all.
Tell you what, let's double date with you and your girlfriend. That's even less strange. They go off to the hole to have a look at what might be a dinosaur. Well, it probably is a dinosaur.
Yeah.
It looks pretty much like a dinosaur. But also a man dinosaur.
What?
Christopher Lee, get out of here.
Never heard such a thing.
Manosaur! Shut up! Get out. Manosaur.
I'm trying to record a concept album. Iggy and Spike, Hale and Pace, they kidnap Mario's girlfriend, thinking that she's the one that they're supposed to be getting, despite having followed Daisy for the rest of the day. Anyway.
I mean, say what you like about those guys, they have a very quick turnaround. It's like Amazon deliveries. You know, if they get you the wrong thing, it's very quick and easy, the whole process.
Yeah.
It's almost worth the constant mistakes.
The constant kidnapping of innocent women.
So they're able to take Daniela back, find out she's the wrong one, and get back to this dimension in order to get the right one within half an hour.
It's very efficient.
It really is. Getting past, apparently, Luigi and Daisy without them seeing.
Well, you know what Lee and Herring are like. They're very hardworking. It's hardest job in the world being a comedian.
Oh, they're going to hate each other later on.
Oh, God.
Tell.
That's just what happens with duos. You dick. They kidnap both the women now. So Mario and Luigi go back to.
Yeah.
They decide to
follow them.
Yeah. They realize there's a rift in the space-time continuum or a rock. And
either the space-time continuum or a rock.
Yeah.
There's a rip in one of them, and they're going to jump through it.
Yeah. Do they immediately arrive in Dino Hatton?
Yes, they do. They immediately find their way to Dino Hatton, where they come up to street level and find that everything's all screwy. There's dinosaurs everywhere, and weird rats and stuff.
And fungus and that.
People look slightly different. They've evolved from completely different genus of animals, and as a result, they have some weird face stuff sometimes. Otherwise, totally mammalian.
Yeah. Human gene's the best, though, is the thing. Fuck everything else.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
Fuck everything else.
Look at them.
They're trying to look around. She's being dragged away by...
Yeah.
I wanted to say Deal and Pasco, but that's the police drama from the 90s.
Yeah.
They're dragged away by Robbie Coltrane's Cracker.
Yeah, why not? But somehow Luigi has ended up with the amulet that Daisy
when
wears
she's
around
getting
her
dragged
neck.
through, it's dangling off of her neck.
He grabs it off.
Yeah,
yes.
He grabs it off. So he's got it, but then that gets stolen.
They get mugged. Yeah, Big Bertha.
By Big Bertha,
a large black woman in a red dress.
Yes.
Who throws an old woman over a canopy.
Yeah.
Because fuck it.
She did deserve it. She was a terrible but funny old woman. But yeah, Big Bertha from the games, right?
Yes, she had, if I remember correctly, she was the little thing that shot an egg out.
Big black woman in red PVC.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
And big jumper boots. She jumps away. And by God, how she jumps.
Yeah, she does. Gloriously.
She jumps onto a...
You can see the joy in her face.
She jumps onto a wire and 6 men haul her across. And then she runs off.
6 underpaid interns.
But that's it. Now Mario, Luigi Mario, and Luigi Mario, Hale and Pace.
Yeah.
Mario. God, fuck this, I'm an idiot. They've got to find Daisy and they've got to find the rock.
Yes, unfortunately, they get arrested immediately.
Yes, for fraternising with a folk singer.
Yes, Toad, who sings a rebellious song, which, pretty good response times in this dystopian future. I heard there's a political satirical song being played. Fucking...
Yeah, it's Yeah, he's arrested 7 seconds into his catchy song, which is a shame because the song was great.
It was a good song.
Also, they arrest Mario and Luigi Mario because King Koopa, played by
Dennis Hopper,
was told by Iggy and Spike that
they didn't get the stone.
They didn't get the rock. Why? Because the plumbers have it. So they put an APB out on all plumbers.
Yeah. And everybody knows what a plumber looks like. Bob Hoskins is what. They've all seen Brazil.
They process the Mario brothers and
they defungus them.
And Mojo, the folk singer.
Toad.
Yeah.
Lovable Toad.
Toad. Oh yeah,
you remember Toad? Your princess is in another castle.
From the video games.
Yeah, he's always singing folk songs.
Oh man.
Your princess. It's in another castle. It's kind of a Bob Dylan thing he's got going on.
Yeah.
It's,
here's a Wowzer.
Gonna need
Make you say Wowzer.
And then they get interrogated by Hooper. That's not his name. What is it?
Yeah.
Cooper?
Cooper.
Cooper.
Yeah.
Cooper Scooper.
TJ Booker.
Fuck.
He's asking them where the rock is, and they're like, "What rock? We don't know about a rock." And then John Hopper.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Cooper
Dennis
then
Hopper
tries to gouge John Leguizamo's eyes out of his head.
It wasn't scripted. Nobody knew what was happening. And he didn't stop. And that's why John Leguizamo, what's wrong with me? That's why John Leguizamo's the most famous blind actor in Hollywood.
But once Dennis Hopper's finished gouging the eyes out of every named actor in the piece, he then processes them definitively. He demonstrates the evolution machine, or whatever the fuck it is, on Toad.
The de-evolution machine, the opposite of what you said.
Well, it does both.
Oh, it does both. There's a switch.
Yeah, the Volution machine.
Look, it'll do all of your genetic engineering needs.
So yeah, he puts in Toad, he devolizes him.
Into a fucking terrifying monster.
Well, no, the Goombas, Paul. The Goombas from the game.
You all remember them with their big brown heads.
From the Mario games. He goes to do Mario and Luigi Mario, but they overpower him and they put him in, and they turn on the devolution thing, but it doesn't actually work on Koopa for some reason.
Well, he's in there for a minute, and it makes his eyes go funny for a second. Then he's fine.
Yeah. Oh well. And so they run off and they go in search of Big Bertha from the Mario games in order to get the rock back, in order to then save the princess.
Absolutely. Throughout the rest of this script, because I don't remember exactly where it happens, just assume that in between every moment we describe of what happens between Mario and Luigi, we have a sequence of Dennis Hopper either hitting on Daisy really unpleasantly, introducing her to a dinosaur that she has, and also dealing with Fiona Shaw, who is planning some sort of rebellion against him that doesn't actually go anywhere. Just assume that's all in there. Yeah. Because she's jealous of the attention Daisy's getting. Brothers run away. They drive away. They end up crashing into the desert.
They're pursued by Iggy and Spike, but they have been evolutionized.
Oh yes, made smarter.
By Koopa now. Made smarter, which means give English accents too.
Yes.
They're just very polite and fancy.
Like intelligent people are.
It's super fancy.
Excuse me, sir. Would you mind fucking off, please? Oh, yes, I would. Thank you.
They wouldn't say fuck off in this because they're super clever. They'd just say something like, "Would you mind extricating yourself from this situation, kind sir?" And everyone just goes, "It's not actually what clever is. It's not. It doesn't actually work out like that."
No, but he solved a Sudoku whilst he was saying that.
Oh, brilliant! That's so clever. Oh, do you know what? They're probably really into The Big Bang Theory. That's a show for clever people.
The smartest. I heard that Neil deGrasse Tyson pointed his face at it once and went pretty well.
He opened his mouth to suck in the science.
He was laughing so hard he was aghast. Anyway,
they are so smart that they fly off like a ridge in a desert and get stuck in some quicksand or something.
Yes. And, so they're going to head back into town in order to find Big Bertha, who they know about Big Bertha. Everyone in this town knows about Big Bertha, if you know what I mean. She beats the living shit out of you all the time.
Unless you're Bob Hoskins, because they go to the bar and the club, and Bob Hoskins tries to get the rock off of her by dancing with her, seducing her in his Hoskins sort of way.
Yes, and it's very subtle kind of Bob Hoskins way. So he ends up lapping at her breast with his tongue, trying to get the fucking meteorite piece in his mouth, which she is fine with.
Big Bertha's nasty, and Bob Hoskins is nasty. And you know what they say, two nasties definitely make a right.
Two nasties best date. No.
Two nasties at night. Shepherd's breakfast.
Nasty by evening. Farmer's sandwich.
Which is
Who the fuck knows?
Look, I was just inspired to make a series of concept albums. The Nastiness Saga.
It's 17 volumes, each more redundant than the last.
Nasty in time.
All 17 volumes are just you improvising, trying to come up with things about nastiness. Increasingly angrily. Nasty! In the bed. Shepherds will wed.
Kill 2 nasties with a... Paul, it's not really going anywhere, this series.
I'm 9 in. I'm going to keep going. But I am going to hope that you pick up an instrument at some point.
Whoops! Nasty's on the roof.
That's the conclusion. Oh shit, they were on the roof the whole time.
Killed himself. He
Fuck,
shot himself in the nasty.
I better start again. Listen to it all again now, with that knowledge. Makes sense now.
It's just like Nick Drake.
It's just like Twin Peaks The Return.
God. Anyway.
Fiona Shaw interrupts the nightclub by looking better than everyone else in the nightclub, which makes everyone depressed and they all have to go home. She gets the meteorite.
Yeah.
Everyone else runs away with the assistance of Big Bertha, who gives them some jetpacks because, she's nasty.
Thwompers from the game Mario.
Yep. They all run away and then they're going to reconvene in order to do a raid on Cooper Tower. Everything's kicking off. Bob Hoskins? No, Dennis Hopper is formulating his plan to invade. Bob Hoskins is as well, but it's unrelated to the film.
Yep.
Dennis Hopper is formulating his plan to merge the dimensions and invade the human world. Mm-hmm. They break in. They find all the Brooklyn girls who have been abducted.
Yep.
Who are all there, by the way, including Daniela.
Oh, yeah, brilliant.
Bob Hoskins fucking surfs down a pipe using... the mattress. Oh, they fucked up the piping to this place, making everything cold. It was the one time them being plumbers was relevant to anything.
Oh yeah, very good. Oh, and that's when they find a red and blue suit for Bob Hoskins and a green and blue suit for John Leguizamo.
Just like
out of nowhere.
Yeah, unfortunately they haven't played the game, so they wear the other person's. Bob Hoskins puts the Luigi one on,
even though it's massively oversized, and the one on John Leguizamo looks ridiculously short, like as if for a child.
They wear it anyway out of determination.
Yeah. They go in a lift and they make all the Goombas dance.
Oh yes,
they teach them how to love, and then Fiona Shaw then tries to lock in the
device. Yep,
the rock to like merge the two worlds because that's what that's what everyone wants, but they're all doing it for different reasons.
Yeah,
but she dies because it's too
powerful. Can't take the force.
Her.
Yeah,
just blasts her into a fucking wall and she becomes a fossil.
She becomes a hilarious skeleton.
Yeah.
Which remains in the background throughout all of the emotional sequences that happen in that fucking room. I'll always love you, Luigi. Skeleton noises.
They try to fix that. Mario goes after what the fuck he's called, Cooper. He has a bob-omb, from the games.
Yeah.
The bob-ombs, the wind-up bombs.
Yeah. With Reebok shoes.
Yeah, that's the one. He puts him down and he starts a magical journey to eventually blow everything up.
With the assistance of the fungus, which we forgot to mention is growing throughout the city and is actually Daisy's dad, de-evolved into fungus.
Yep, aside from that.
You don't have the rock, you filthy man. We're merging!
Then the worlds merge, and Cooper and a couple of Goombas, no one else though, goes into the real world. Cooper shoots Scapelli, turns him in, devolves him into an ape.
Yep, that's that resolved. Hope he didn't have a family.
Yep. Whoops. That doesn't work in the end, so they end up going back to the Dino Hatton. It's a good thing that only a few of them merged into the other world anyway, because that would have been a right old palaver.
Yeah.
And then the bomb finally finishes its magical journey, blows everything up.
He turns into a dinosaur because it's been... They have de-evolution guns, which for some reason they've been shooting him with in the hopes that that'll solve the whole thing. He turns into a dinosaur, then they keep shooting him, and he turns into a pile of primordial ooze.
Oh, yes, of course, and he goes back into the soup.
Yeah.
Daisy can't go back to the real world. She's got a kingdom to rule with her daddy, and...
She's got a horrible kingdom to rule.
Yeah.
So, what shall I do my first day of being queen? Well, we have no resources of any kind. Oh.
There's
none? Literally none.
There's a lot of fungus to scrape.
Yep, we can all eat that, I guess. Or has it all turned back into Lance Henriksen? I hope not. It's the only thing we have. Yep. I hope everyone likes mushroom soup.
We can probably all eat Big Bertha at this stage. She'd want it, though. She's so nasty.
Oh, she loves being inside everyone.
A nasty in the hedge is a Big Bertha in the bush.
That's from volume 3.
Yeah.
Not that far in. That's how quickly that deteriorated.
Yeah, that was before the drug phase. That was before I got really weird on mushrooms, guys.
Before the Berlin period. Volumes 9 through 12. Anyway.
So they eat Bertha, then the rest of them go back to the real world, and they're plumbers, but they're also heroes. And then they get a call from the president of the USA, probably, to say, you've got another job on. And they're
to say my bog's ruined. I destroyed it, guys. I fucking destroyed it. At this point, it was Clinton. I fucking ruined it. You've got to come help me in the royal shithouse. The royal one? Yep, I'm royal now.
Yep.
But another royal's going to interrupt things because Daisy comes in and is like, hey guys, you're never going to believe what sequel baiting I'm doing. And they all go with her. The end.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Can't wait to see what happens next. Paul, that was the end of Mario Brothers. It was the end of Rocky Morton's career.
Yes.
Annabelle Jenkel's career.
Yes. Bob Hoskins' lust for life.
Yeah, it was the end of a lot of potentially good things and the beginnings of the beginnings of video game adaptations. Am I correct in thinking this?
This was the very first video game adaptation, and it set the foundations for all the work done afterwards. I think that's one criticism that we can get out of the way pretty early on. It's really not an adaptation of the video game.
No.
It drops some names, and then does its own thing. Very much like Street Fighter did.
Yeah, although at least Street Fighter is a fighting film, and it's a fighting game.
I wanted a platforming film.
It doesn't have to be set in Mario World. It could have been set in the real world, and it could have been still better and more faithful to the subject matter. And but it managed to just not do that at all. And I think that's obvious. That's low hanging fruit. I think that's nobody who has seen this game has not made that observation. That it has almost nothing to do with the Mario games.
Yeah. So as a dystopian sci-fi movie, how does that work? Well, for families.
You don't see many of them, is the thing. You don't see
too many times when Blade Runner and Jurassic Park met up for a quick shag in front of some kids. Well, there's a rich production history here. Shall we quickly outline it?
Yeah, let's delve into the wealth of that.
Then we can come out and decide what the fuck happened here.
What's going on, yeah.
Originally, there was a fun script by Jim Genovine and Tom S. Parker, who wrote The Flintstones and Richie Rich. You remember those fun movies?
Oh, yeah. I had a lot of fun.
A lot of fun with those. A lot of fun not thinking about those for the last 30 years. It was, very light, very fluffy, Princess Bride style fairy tale stuff. With a focus on comedy. Yeah. It didn't attract any directors. The original director left and they just couldn't get anyone involved. They tried Harold Ramis, tried Danny DeVito at the same time, which was unfortunate. They were both on the same meeting and they just looked at each other and like,
they broke a broom in half and went, one of you's got to leave this room.
As the director of Super Mario Brothers. The producer, who I should fucking point out, is Roland Joffe, who directed The Mission, an excellent film, starring Robert De Niro and Jeremy Irons, about missionaries and trying to preserve Native American culture whilst...
Oh, yes!
It's excellent.
Yes!
Whilst a bunch of British soldiers try to fuck them over. I think they're Portuguese soldiers, actually. Typical European soldiers.
Classic Brits. Lads on tour.
They became British. The minute they decided to oppress a native people, they became British. That producer went and got Janklin Morton, who had worked on Max Headroom. Janklin Morton came on the condition that they completely changed the script because they didn't want to make that movie.
Okay.
So, they pitched a gritty sci-fi story and got Parker Bennett and Terry Runt to write it, which was then fleshed out by Dick Clement and Ian LaFrenne, who wrote Porridge and The Commitments.
There's a whole rainbow of interests here.
Well, it's the LaFrenne-Clement script that got Bob Hoskins, Dennis Hopper, and Fiona Shaw involved, and then created the domino effect of everyone else getting involved, because he doesn't want to work on the movie that has Dennis Hopper and Fiona Shaw in it.
And Bob Hoskins.
The LaFrenne-Clement script got called the Mad Max script.
Yeah.
But it was too dark for the funders. And so it was rewritten without the director's knowledge and handed to them on the first day of shooting saying, oh yeah, go film this. Okay. They said it was radically different from the script that had gotten everyone involved in the project. It was much lighter and apparently totally at odds with the dark sets and production design that had already been put together.
Yeah, all of that Brazil dystopia sort of thing that was going on. And it does track. I think if you're gonna completely rewrite a film,
Yeah.
without the director's knowledge, you're only going to hand that to them on the day of shooting, aren't you? You're not going to give them a heads up. By the way...
Okay, ready for the first day of shooting on Gladiator. Yeah, brilliant. Here's your script, by the way. I have a script. No, this is the script. It says Care Bears 4 on the front. Yeah.
Starring Russell Crowe still.
Are you not entertained, Snuffles?
Maximus Decimus Beridimus. Look, it's a push, but I'll do it, says Ridley Scott.
You knew Marcus Aurelius. That's the dumbest thing we've ever done, and it's my favourite thing. Everyone agreed, that the Mad Max script was better. And that got me interested. So I read it. I read the Mad Max script. Yeah. Few observations.
We're going to do a live reading for you now, listeners. Strap in.
Once upon a time. No. It is not radically different. It's almost entirely the same. And it's worse in places. Yeah. Like, the plotting is really awkward. The bit where the Mario brothers get into the headquarters, both brothers stay together to find the people who are described, the human beings who are described in the script as the Brooklyn Babes throughout, and who do things like complain about nails being broken and high heels and such. They're very well written.
Oh, yeah.
They find them together, and then say, wait here, we've got to go find Daisy. They go find Daisy in the fucking fungus room, and then they leave with Daisy, only to get separated for Mario to backtrack to the fucking Brooklyn Babes room. It stretches everything out, and it's really kind of awkward. But aside from that, it's pretty much the same. The dialogue is worse. It sounds an awful lot like two British guys trying to fucking write Italian-American characters.
Yeah.
There's a lot of walk in there.
I think I remember reading that half an hour was cut from this film as well. So in order to get it down to a nice tight 1 hour 44 minutes. And so I wonder how much of that was that
actually
as well.
Still in the script. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and that really didn't do anything. So maybe they were just the guy was Morton and Jenkel, not real names. They were affronted by being given a revised script.
I think so.
A polished script.
I think they just got outraged without actually reading it, because it's pretty much the same, except for it's way more sexist, I feel. There's a weird bit in there where it describes Daisy as looking every bit the princess in the tower, just being totally transparent. And another point where it says they're running down a corridor and Mario wants to go left and Luigi wants to go right, which, has made it into the movie. But Daisy's with them. And it says here, these are the words: Mario is about to overrule him when he realizes that Luigi is asserting himself in front of Daisy. He defers to his judgment. Okay, so since you're trying to impress a bird, every so often a woman would show up in Porridge. And they didn't get the best treatment, to be honest.
God, yeah, I probably wouldn't rely on someone who wrote a sitcom from the 70s.
To write your blockbuster action
edgy
movie.
New blockbuster. Yeah.
Here's what it's got going for it.
Okay.
It does have some political stuff. That British political satire. There's a bit...
that we will know and love.
The reason the Marios get arrested is because they were arrested due to failure to provide a bribe. Toad gets out of prison because he went to a bribe bondsman, which is, fun. And there's a thing that there's these posters everywhere, and I think the posters are actually in the movie. It's like Cooper the Merciful and Cooper the Merciless, and, all these different Cooper posters. And the idea is that these are actually separate candidates, and that in this future you can nominate any candidate you like so long as it's Cooper.
Oh, okay. That's really cool. That's very
funny.
Cool. I think some of that found its way into the film in the posters. I remember seeing there was one poster of him kissing a baby and looking at the camera. Yeah, so it obviously had some of that biting political satire in it still, but it was kidified. I mean, I guess ideally, if you're making an adaptation of the Super Mario Brothers games, then you wanted to stick with that original fluffy kids script by the Richie Rich people, probably. If you want to do like an honest, faithful rendition of that, you're probably going to be your best bet. I do really like the idea of having a political satire, dystopian nightmare sort of alternate reality thing going on. But I feel like it would have been more appreciated if they'd have let some people make that fluffy Mario film first and then do this like later on.
Call it something else.
Yeah, like a Grimm's fairy tale style Mario.
The alternative Mario. But here's the thing. Can you point at something in this movie and say that is the bit that is a conceit to make it more family friendly?
I feel...
Because the bits I would point out would be maybe the little adorable Yoshi. He's in the Mad Max script. Or perhaps the fun bobsleigh down the pipe on the mattress. That's in the Mad Max script.
I'm trying to think. There's one bit, and this is the exact moment that I lost interest in the film, because I am going to say right now that I was fairly into it for a good hour, because of just how strange it was and how unexpected it was, and how much I liked Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo in this film.
Yeah, we have good chemistry throughout.
Yeah, it is a successful experiment, guys. Well done. But there's one moment about an hour and 15 in. When they could easily just go and tie this film up, make it a nice tight 90 and just wrapped everything up in an explosive final 15. But then they get stuck in this stairwell and Luigi's hanging over the banister going, and Mario's bouncing up and down in the hole of the stairwell on some fungus. And I'm pretty sure there's a boing. And I thought...
That's not in Mad Max, the script.
That's the thing. I sat back and went, yeah, this film isn't quite the masterpiece I was hoping for.
It's not quite Street Fighter. But like when I was laughing at things or when I was feeling things, it was genuinely sort of what the film was trying to make me do. It's just that it was so fucking weird it was doing them all sort of so close together and in such a way. So the big difference is between this and the Mad Max script is the reason it's called the Mad Max script, which is when they go out into the desert, what happens is, after they've gotten out of their car that was wrecked, a newscopter catches them, and Cooper comes on and says, hey, it's a race. Anyone who manages to capture these guys and bring them back to me will get 5,000 coupons. They're called coupons for out. There's not a weird moment where someone randomly calls them Cooper coins. Forgetting the script. There's a big race. They all race into the desert to catch the Marios, and they all just kill each other. They all kill each other on their way, which is quite bloody and quite extraordinary and lots of action and stuff. And then, it just ends with Iggy and what's-his-name tied up in the desert, exactly as it turns out in the film. So it's a really easy edit to make, really.
Yeah.
Even the ending, which is different in the script, stayed the same in the new script. It's just that they had to change it because they ran out of money, because they went on too long.
Just what was the... Oh, that's a point, actually. The Goombas dancing, was that in the original script?
No.
No.
But, this debunked the myth that the Mad Max script was brilliant and that the rewrite ruined it, because it's very similar. It's just slightly better dialogue and characters and, you know, things happen a bit more naturally. So in many ways, it's an improvement. But that got me wondering about this original fairy tale script that we've talked about a few times. So I read that too!
Gosh.
Fuck everything!
Oh, man.
I've had so much Mario this week.
I didn't put any effort into this. Jesus.
I will say that the dialogue and the Mario's relationship is probably the best of any of the renditions of this. They speak like people. They have a troublesome relationship because they have basically the Trotter brothers dynamic. You know, Dell's been looking after Rodney since he was a boy, and it's led to some resentment. I really like Hilda. It's my favourite female lead of all the scripts, because even though she's treated the worst, just immediately tricked into going with Cooper and locked up for the entire movie and given a love potion to make her love Cooper until fucking Luigi shows up with the cure. She's still smart and tough and kind of feisty. Okay. And that's cool. But the main difference is, rather than going to Blade Runner, they go to the world of the game. They do show up in the world of the game with big green pipes, big plants with teeth, mushrooms. They show up in the world of the game, and they have fairy tale adventures. And there's some clever stuff, there's some really funny stuff, and a couple more meaningful nods to the original.
Okay, well, that's really cool. And so I stick by what I said about the original script. So
financially, everyone was happy with it, but they couldn't find directors who actually wanted to make this thing.
All right, except for Terry Gilliam, who proposed a budget of $700 million. 7-year shooting schedule.
Stanley Kubrick, who insisted on filming it in an actual Mushroom Kingdom that he started building a portal to. It was, I don't know, it would have been interesting. The script isn't perfect. It's still a bit perfunctory. It's a bit, we walk from this place to this place, we have this adventure, then this adventure. Oh, you know what? The characters are good. It's quite funny. It plays like The Princess Bride. I think they could have made it work. But I think the point is they didn't. Instead, they merged it all together, and there's something really compelling about the fucking mess that happened as a result.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Again, I don't think this is the case of going in expecting garbage and being pleasantly surprised that it wasn't. I think there's genuinely a lot of good in there.
Yeah.
But ultimately it was a mess, and terrible cinema work in general. But but there was a lot of good in there.
There was.
For the first 75 minutes, I was happy to go along with it, I think.
Yeah. Because you had no idea where you were going next. It was so fucking weird. There was no sense of... eventually you knew they were going to save Daisy from this tower. But the means of getting there via fucking desert, nightclub, prison...
Yeah.
Fuck knows where you're going now.
Yeah.
And the production design was amazing. I mean, especially when you fucking think about Sound of Thunder last week. Just the world looked beautiful. Dino Hatton. What a place. You know, it reminded me of Highlander 2's city.
Yes.
It had that vibe going for it.
Yeah, but larger than just a 20 square meter bit of set.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It had that real like chunky meaty aesthetic of 90s movies, I think. It reminded me a bit of Power Rangers. Yeah. But better than that.
I need the rock and the Princess Daisy. And I'll finally be able to merge our world with theirs and get rid of the mammals.
The production did become a mess even after the fucking script problems. You know, there were constant rewrites to a famously difficult Dennis Hopper stalling production. Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo were getting drunk on set between takes. Possibly resulting in Hoskins breaking his finger in one of the stunts. The production went over budget, so the ending was massively changed, and pretty much everyone agreed that it was dispiriting and humiliating. So
it just seems like a lot of bad blood all the way throughout. It seems everybody was hostile. Whoever started that, I don't know, or cultivated it. It's difficult to say, but it just seems like just poison on set from day one.
It does, and it seems like it's kind of like a seeing eye test for anyone who wants to come and just see whatever message they want to learn from it. You know, it seems determined to teach every different lesson about how not to make a movie, even the ones that contradict each other, you know? Don't let egomaniacal directors run away with the project. Don't let the studio compromise the vision of the director. Don't hire troublesome actors. Don't neglect troublesome actors. It would really be handy if the film was worthless. It would really help a lot of people out, but it's more like a dessert that was made by 5 different people, none of whom were interested in eating the other people's desserts. So, it's a fucking mess, but there's some really tasty stuff in there. Shall we talk about some of that tasty stuff?
That's quickfire.
Quickfire.
I really like the old lady who was mugging the Mario brothers. She was so sweet.
Excellent.
And then she gets thrown over a ledge by Big Bertha. Great sequence.
What a ledge herself. Come on now. There's no need for that. Some of the music is really good.
Yeah.
Alan Silvestri did the fucking score, the Avengers guy, who did the Captain America theme and various other themes throughout the 80s and 90s. In particular, I really like the sad music. Mm-hmm. The music that plays in relation to Daisy and her sort of destiny, it's a really good little theme that he's given her. I like that a lot.
It's definitely got a good soundtrack. Yeah. It depends what you mean by good, but I would say good. It's weirdly competent.
Someday I wish to be described that way.
I mean, yeah, but speaking of the music, I really like Toad's protest song. That was great.
Well, cars run on electricity, cause fossil fuel is sacred, you see. Living in a kingdom of fungus, got an evil presence here among us. And we got no food anywhere. Water stinks, and we got no air. Got no resources, we're in a stupor, cause of that big old mean evil King Koopa.
Particularly the rhyming of detention and dimension.
The Goombas genuinely fucking terrify me because of their tiny heads that keep bouncing around the place. They're really upsetting. But when the Toad Goomba comes in to offer Daisy some food, she explains that she's a vegetarian who doesn't eat anything with a face, a line from the Lefrene script.
Any chance of a plate of steamed vegetables?
Like nodding in approval. It's really made me laugh. And he brings them.
Yeah, the Goombas, the design of the Goombas, the way they played out, it was fucking fantastic.
With their massive trench coats, like looking like the Stasi. It's
And again, it was fucking fantastic in a Highlander 2 way for me. It was just so fucking ridiculous. and again, I can see why anybody wanting a faithful adaptation of the Mario games was not going to be satisfied with that. But for me, it was brilliant.
It was brilliant. And one other thing, I really enjoyed the sound of them dancing. Just
yeah.
There's something wonderful about that.
I sang to myself on a wonderful world. Just insanely grim concept as well, I think. Devolving people into these into these things. It's really, fucking awful.
It
it's
really
horrendous.
upsets me. Like watching people going into it when they're like, no!
Please, I can change.
Not like that.
There were some really great one-ers in this film. There was one in particular where they were escaping, and they were, I think, escaping prison, maybe, or they were escaping. They might have been in their special Nintendo seats at this stage. They were like hurrying down some steps and then running along a metal gangway, and the camera was in front of them, and it was it kind of came down the stairs with them, and then came back and followed them horizontally along the platform. Yeah. Like a platform, almost. Yeah. There were a few sort of Spielbergian one-ers in there.
There's something, because I, like you, sort of lost interest somewhere after the nightclub. There's a long, boring stretch there as they're trying to break into Cooper's palace. But I was broken out of that stupor by the fucking sheer madness of the scene in which Danny DeVito, what's his name? Bob Hoskins. He gets on a mattress with the Brooklyn Babes, and they propel themselves down this tunnel on a mattress. And the music is fucking bizarre. And kind of sounds like Sonic the Hedgehog music, weirdly. Yeah, it's that. And they're being chased by two Goombas who are awkwardly positioned on something.
I like to think that video games helping John Leguizamo hotwire a car was a little respectful nod to the video game culture that it appropriates.
Bob Hoskins has some brilliant lines. One of which is when he is told that Scapelli is compromising the dig, and with great earnestness and importance comes to the camera and says,
"Strap your boat on, kid. We're going in."
Fuck yeah.
Do you know what? A lot of people had some good lines. Dennis Hopper had some great lines. My absolute favourite would be...
You know what they say about little girls, don't you? They never forget the first time they're kissed by a lizard.
Oh god, the fucking police station. When the Mario Brothers are being booked, it leads into the fucking police station, and the guy who's on the desk he's got some woman's foot, like presumably a prostitute, sort of, fishnets and stuff, and her foot is on his shoulder, and the cop next to him gets pulled over the desk at one point, smashing a lamp, and just no reference is made to it. It's just chaos.
It's like the S Club 7 prison. I really liked Spike and Iggy. I thought they were great together.
They really were.
They're a brilliant duo. They had some really great lines, and particularly for me, there was the... he's going to kill us. He's not going to kill us. No, it's not that nice. That was really good. And one other bit.
Hello, morons. Hello.
When Daisy in their dinner at the beginning of the film says she was abandoned, Bob Hoskins makes an amazing face.
Aw. They used that footage, but it was when the director said, "Sorry, we're going to have to go again." Fuck.
Use it.
They cut 1 second before he started screaming. I pretty much like all three of the songs that play in the club.
I would stop the world for you, babe. Stop. I would stop the things I do if I knew.
Everybody wants the dinosaur.
But leaving Walk the Dinosaur out for a moment, I like the first two that are playing when they're in the club trying to seduce Big Bertha.
I actually also really like Bob Hoskins' seduction of Big Bertha.
The name's Mario. I'm your main man. You Ramadan, you can of Spain.
I think he's fucking brilliant in this film in general, but in that he's He's, really obviously trying to get this rock off of her. And whatever dance move they're doing, there's the one where their hands are sort of extended around each other's backs, and they're circling each other, and he's got a face like a rabid dog trying to get this rock off of her. And it's just so fucking stupid. It
was. At the end, when all the Goombas are in the lift, some of them have Goomba photo ID cards, in which is just the face of the Goomba that they are on the ID cards, and it really made me laugh, the idea of these guys having ID cards. That's a lovely detail someone put in.
One other thing that I thought was very good dystopian satire was the cheery public service announcement guy, whose voice you could just be heard in Dino Hatton from time to time.
Yeah.
So when they put the APB out on Two Plumbers, it goes back to this really grimy, dark, stormy night aesthetic.
Yeah.
And then it's like, that's right, Cooper's looking for 2 plumbers. that kind of, everything's fine, citizens.
He must have a real plumbing problem.
Yeah. Vote for merciless Cooper.
Some of the CGI effects, apparently a new program was designed and implemented to handle some of the CGI. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like Bob Hoskins traveling between the 2 dimensions and like 3D spinning whilst also sort of disintegrating and reintegrating looked good.
The disintegrating looked really good, I thought. The frittering away.
The way people look like sort of sand getting wet when they melt in between the 2 dimensions.
Yeah.
Looked really good.
I like how a lot of the things in this film seem to be comprised of goo, and there are certain images or shots of small dinosaurs fighting over scraps of goo and fungus. All look pretty gross in that way that only prosthetics can look gross.
It's actually when they're trying to get out of the car and it's like stretching and it looks like, I don't know, cheese strings or something.
Cheese on a pizza, yeah.
Yeah, it's visceral. Oh, I really like Luigi speaking to the dad, who's just a big ball of fungus. He's really polite and nice about it. It's like, oh, it's an honor to meet you, sir. And like he wants to make a good impression, because I really like the characterization of Luigi as being kind of naive, but always, trusting in his environment and that things are going to work out. I like that a lot.
Yeah, he was charmingly dim, I thought. I really liked his character.
Yeah.
But very well-meaning.
Yeah.
Not like Tim, nice but dim.
Yeah, and legitimately charming as well. Like, when he's trying his somewhat awkward seduction of Daisy at the beginning, he's nice to her. I like that.
Yeah. The world, we've kind of said about the scene, the set, and how everything looks, but it feels lived in as well.
Yeah.
Everything feels lived in. It feels, firstly, very busy, grimy Manhattan, and then it feels like a struggling, heaving Dino Hatton as well.
Yeah.
There's you never get to a bit where it's just the 2 of them, and you Avengers style. There's actually nobody else in this world.
Yeah. We've got to specify Avengers 98. People are going to think we're terrible.
No.
Fuck Marvel.
My last one was just the journey that the bob-omb goes on. It's about 15 minutes before the end when he winds up this little bob-omb, from the Mario game.
Yeah.
It falls down a hole and it drops like 20, 30 meters underground, and then it's supposedly forgotten about. But then every now and again, the camera just goes back to this little bob-omb just trundling along underground, and then it hits a wall, and then it starts to walk up the wall. It's just a really fun idea to think that this bob-omb just walked for 20 minutes before finally, by pure luck, getting to Cooper.
Yeah.
I feel that was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my final good thing then is just that what brought me through this movie and had me liking it, aside from how bizarre the aesthetic was, it's the through line is the way that Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo sort of relate to each other. Their relationship on screen is great, and maybe that's from the bonding of being through this horrific experience together and getting drunk and high and whatever else in order to try and escape the madness of it all, but they were great together. They had a great back and forth. They delivered cheesy lines with great authority. You never doubted either of them. Ultimately, the thing that works best about the Super Mario Brothers are the Super Mario Brothers, which is surely how it should be.
Yeah, agreed. They look about as much alike as Rodney and Del Boy do, but they have really great chemistry. You really believe that they're related and have been living together, like one raising the other for all of Luigi's life.
How about that OGT, Paul?
Oh yes, well remembered, because I forgot. Christopher Bond, Baby Bearder says, "Jesus Christ, no." It's not.
Yeah, that was a good thing.
Lighter Nerdy said it made for a great cartoon too, which is true.
Yes. And a really good comic strip that was originally published in Nintendo Power and then was collected together as a book. That was really good.
KO says, I know it's bad, but a small part of me loves this movie. So that's the whole movie.
Yeah, the whole movie is a good thing.
From KO. Yeah, brilliant. Finally, Beyond the Box Set says the Rock Set theme tune, which was actually written for Hocus Pocus, is pretty damn catchy. Also, for a legitimately bad movie, the density of talent is insane. Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, Fiona Shaw, Samantha Mathis, Dennis Hopper. It's a fascinating time capsule of genuinely great actors struggling manfully against truly terrible material.
Absolutely.
So there we go. I think we zeroed in on some things there. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Okay, let's talk about the one better thing. The one better thing.
So I'm just going to go ahead and recommend 2017's Jumanji.
Okay.
It's not perfect, and it's not exactly like Mario Brothers, but what is? But it has the video game theme, and it's a bit more respectful to that medium, I think.
Yeah.
The cast are largely very likeable.
Yeah.
The plot is infinitely more cohesive, and the comedy is pretty sharp for most of the film.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a family-friendly film that loosely touches on video games and those kind of mechanics of video games, then I'd say go for that.
Excellent. Good stuff. I'm going to recommend 1994's Street Fighter.
Yay!
We've talked about it before at some length. It's a video game adaptation that came out pretty much less than 9 months later than Super Mario Brothers. Just a little while after Double Dragon, which I'd really love for us to have a go at some point. It has the exact same Rotten Tomatoes score as Super Mario Brothers, but I do prefer it because it's got a lot of the same problems. Too many people getting involved, big mess, good things scattered amongst the crap. But I think Street Fighter's a bigger mess. And therefore, I prefer it. It's got more mess appeal.
Yeah. Well, Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo were possibly drunk for the entire set, but were they on cocaine and shagging Kylie Minogue?
Only one of them was.
Yeah.
Which one? Find out in my new expose. The real Super Mario Brothers. It's sold surprisingly well amongst kids. I don't endorse that. I don't think that's a good thing, but I need the money.
Cool.
Okay, that was the one better thing. The one better thing. Thank you very much for listening to One Good Thing.
Yeah, thank you so much for stepping into that other dimension.
Whoa! Everything's dinosaurs here.
Oh, just as expected.
Rawr, etc.
Thanks, Jennifer, for recommending Super Mario Brothers. You really genuinely opened up a whole new dimension of film for me there.
It's a real blast from the past. Thanks very much for that.
Yeah. Keep on with the OGT love.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. If you enjoy this episode, you might like listening to our Street Fighter Defense episode 20. You can get in touch with us the usual ways through Twitter and Facebook at OGTPod. Send us an email at ogtpod@gmail.com. My novel Dockhead is available on Amazon for $5.99, and if you want to support the show, please check out ogtpod.bandcamp.com. You can buy the jingles, episodes 1 to 50, for just £2.50. Just leave us a review if you've got time. That would be so awesome. And also, tell a friend. Still tell a friend. You must have one friend by now who you haven't told.
John. I know he's not a friend. He's more of a attempted mugger. But you could look like he could do with a laugh.
His name might be John No Podcastman, but
legally changed.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah.
I'm Paul Salt.
I'm Paul Goodman.
And remember, the one good thing about the Super Mario's Brothers is that Bob Hoskins got out of his fucking head drunk with John Leguizamo, and then they made a movie, possibly by mistake.